it's Adriana, and my number 2 of all time is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is such an original and quirky and strange and beautiful film that plays with the idea of memory. It's a really beautiful love story with 2 incredible performances by Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey, and it's written by my favorite screenwriter, Charlie Kaufman, who is just a genius, complete, utter genius in every way, in every single film that he's ever written. Just the way that he makes these stories that are so different, so strange. Somehow he makes everything flow perfectly. This film is, to me, it's like a masterpiece. It's perfect in every single thing that it does. To me, it's perfect. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, also, I mean, this title of the movie, it's beautiful. It's taken from a poem by Alexander Pope, which is actually recited in the film. The poem is called Eloisa to Abelard. It's about a couple, Clementine and Joel, and Clementine goes through this procedure in which she erases Joel from her memory. There's this place, it's obviously fictional, it's kind of like fantasy, science fiction. Lacuna Inc. is this place in the film where you can go to have someone erased from your mind. So you go through all your memories and you basically delete this person out of each memory. So she does this, erasing Joel from her memory, because she's just very spontaneous, she's kind of all over the place, does whatever she wants, just, you know, so in the moment, makes really split decisions. She does this, and Joel finds out, and he's not supposed to find out about this. It's supposed to be like this really secret thing, but he finds out that she did this, and he obviously gets so upset because, you know, it's his girlfriend, and they had a fight, but like, whatever. He decides to do the same thing to her, and as he's erasing her from his memory, he decides in the process that he wants to hold on to her. So he's trying to hold on to her in each memory, and it's this really strange and quirky thing of going through his mind and this procedure. Like, he's in bed basically, and the characters who play the people giving him the procedure, Mark Ruffalo and Elijah Wood and Kirsten Dunst and Tom Wilkinson, they all work at this Lacuna Inc. And so they're deleting these memories from his mind, and he's unconscious. He has no way of stopping anything, but we see, like, in his thought process, him trying to stop it. And it makes for this really original, unique love story. Like, no film will ever touch this movie in terms of this crazy original concept. It's just out of this world. And everything about this film is brilliant. The direction, which is done by someone I've spoken about a lot, Michel Gondry, who I've said he's one of my favorite directors as well. He is so visually stunning. He does the weirdest things visually, and it works so perfectly in this movie. And it's just so stellar. So Michel Gondry, who is just the perfect director they could have ever found for this movie, because his style is just so potent and so beautiful in this film. Charlie Kaufman, who I've already spoke about, he's just brilliant in his writing. I mean, between this film, Being John Malkovich, which was in my top 20, if you saw my top 20 video, I talk about Being John Malkovich, Adaptation, and Synecdoche, New York, and Kate Winslet. This is my favorite Kate Winslet performance. She is just brilliant in this film. She breathes life into this character. It's kind of not the kind of role that you see her play often, but it works so well. And Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors. He's always been one of my favorite actors. He is hilarious, like top of the comedy class, but he's also so brilliant as a dramatic actor. And this movie proves it, and The Truman Show proves it, and, you know, so many movies that he's been in dramatic roles where he has just been so amazing. Why has he not been nominated for an Oscar yet? Jim Carrey, you are brilliant. I love you. You're from somewhere close to my hometown, I'm sure. We're both Canadian, and I love you so much. So Jim Carrey, He's so good in this film. He plays this, like, such a character you never see him play. So quiet, so shy, but so perfect in this movie. And this movie is kind of classified as a comedy. I do not think this movie is a comedy. Like, it is a bit funny in some parts, but it's also a little bit devastating. It's, as a whole, like, it's humorous, but as a whole, it's heartbreaking, and the ending is just overwhelming, and it makes me laugh and cry equally. It's just it's a very emotionally filled movie. It's got a lot of emotions in it, and all the other performances. Kirsten Dunst is great. Mark Ruffalo is great. Elijah Wood is annoying in a good way. Tom Wilkinson is great. So many things, and the plot are just so, like, it twists every turn, and it's just, it's so smart. It's such a smart movie. The music in this film has my favorite score ever. John Bryan, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant composer. Perfect for this movie. I listen to the soundtrack to this movie all the time. By soundtrack, I mean John Bryan's score. His score throughout the whole film. I have it on my iPod and I always listen to it. One of my favorites is Phone Call, which I use as my ringtone. It's just, the music in this film is stunning. The visuals of this film, the writing, the acting, the directing, everything about this movie. To me, it's a perfect film. It's perfect in every way. It takes something so strange and brilliant and executes it perfectly. Like, how easily this movie could have been a mess, but it just flows so perfectly and beautifully, and it says so much about human emotion and the human mind, and such an interesting look at the way memories shape us and who we are and how we become who we are because of our memories. And you see that, like, without these memories, these people are empty. You become empty having lost something that was so vital, a part of your life, and just having something, a part of you taken away. That's the thing. You think this movie, it's like, oh, that horrible thing happened to me and I just want to forget it ever happened and erase that from my mind. How detrimental that would be. These are things that shape you. Everything that you go through in life shapes you. And this movie is about that. It's about how these things shape you. It's about how you grow within relationships, and you can't just, snap your fingers and have something about you gone. In this movie you can, but that's the thing. It really plays on that and how important memory is and everything. Just watch this movie. If you have not seen this movie, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Go watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It will blow your mind. The way it ends and begins and all, like, circles back into each other, it's so beautiful and brilliant. And, yeah, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, my number 2 of all time. So the next thing you see is going to be my favorite movie of all time, which is crazy, and thank you so much for watching my review, and all my reviews if you watched any of the other ones, and if you like what you see, please subscribe, and if you agree or disagree about the movie, I hope you don't disagree about this movie, but if you do, comment. I want to talk to you about it, and yeah, thank you so much.